You are 34. You have $310,000. Your brother makes the same salary. He has 14,000. The difference is not your job. The difference is not your luck. The difference is one decision you made 10 years ago, and the 10 years of being mocked for it. This is your life driving the same car for 10 years. You are 24, Saturday, April, a used car lot. The salesman wears a polo one size too small. He calls you boss, shakes your hand too long. He walks you past the trucks, past the leather seats. He stops at a 2013 Toyota Corolla, gray, cloth, 71,000 miles. A dent on the bumper he calls character. You sit inside, plain wheel, firm seat. Nothing inside this car will impress anyone you know. You pay $9,400, cash. You drive home with the windows down. The AC makes a sound. You will learn to ignore it for the next 10 years. That night you sit at your kitchen table. You do the math on a piece of paper. $400 a month, invested for 10 years. The number is large enough that you read it twice. You fold the paper, put it in a drawer, forget about it. The next morning, gas station. You pump $14 of regular. The man next to you fills a black BMW. He looks at the Corolla, looks at you, says nothing. At the office, a coworker named Greg parks beside you. Greg drives an Audi he cannot afford. Greg laughs. Greg says, "Bro, is that yours?" You say yes. Greg says, "Did you lose a bet?" A month later, lunch with Frank. Frank is your father's oldest friend. 26 years in finance. He does not give advice unless asked. You tell Frank you got a deal on the Corolla. Frank does not say good job. Frank chews. Frank swallows. Frank says, "Do you know what a car actually is?" You say transportation. Frank shakes his head. Frank says, "Most people don't buy cars. They buy permission. Permission to feel successful. Permission to be seen. Permission to stop asking themselves who they are." You stop chewing. Frank says, "The Corolla is the first time you didn't buy permission." You laugh. Frank does not. Frank wipes his mouth. You don't know it yet, but 10 years from now, this will be the most expensive lunch I ever had with anyone. You drive home in the Corolla. You do not know it yet. You are 26. The Corolla has 89,000 miles. The seat squeaks now. You've stopped hearing it. Tuesday morning, a coffee shop. You order a black coffee for $2. The barista is 16. Her iPhone costs more than your car insurance. She does not look at you twice. You sit by the window. The lot fills. 3 Teslas in a row. 2 BMWs. A G-Wagon. You look at your Corolla. It looks like a joke nobody laughed at. That afternoon, Jordan calls. Jordan is your younger brother, 23, 8 months at his job. Jordan says, "I bought a car." You ask what kind. Jordan says, "A 2023 Acura, lease, $490 a month, basically free." You drive to Jordan's apartment that weekend. The Acura sits in the lot like a polished black bullet. Jordan walks around it the way men walk around things they cannot afford. Jordan's phone buzzes. Jordan glances at it. Something flickers across his face. He puts the phone away without answering. You don't ask. The car is still the car. Monday, the office. Greg is back. Greg has new rims on the Audi. Greg says, "Still rocking the Toyota?" You say yes. Greg says, "Man, you good? Like financially? You good?" You say you're good. Greg walks away. You sit in the Corolla for 30 seconds, your hands on the wheel. You are not okay. Not because of money, because of the way Greg said it. That night, grocery store, 9 p.m. A woman loads groceries into a Range Rover next to you. She is alone. Her cart is full of frozen meals. She looks at your Corolla. She looks at you. She says, "Is that a 2013? You say yes. She says, "Smart. They last forever." She closes her trunk and drives away. You stand in the parking lot. The woman in the Range Rover just said the only kind thing anyone has said about the Corolla this year. You drive home. You sit in the kitchen. The piece of paper from 2 years ago is still in the drawer. You take it out. The number has grown. You put it back. The doubt is starting to live inside you. The car is still the car. You do not know it yet, but the question Frank planted is starting to grow. You are 28. The Corolla has 112,000 miles. The driver's side door takes 2 pulls to close. You know the trick. A Monday morning, office parking lot. A woman from accounting walks past your car. Her name is Rachel. She is 46. She drives a Camry. Rachel stops. Rachel says, "Honey, are you okay?" You say you're fine. Rachel says, if you need anything, a loan, anything, just ask. We've all had hard years. You smile. You say thank you. Rachel walks away. You are not having a hard year. You have $91,000 in your savings. But you cannot say that. Wednesday, lunch, the cafeteria. Two coworkers at the next table do not see you sit down. The first one says, did you see his car? The second one says, I feel bad for him. He works hard. The first one says, maybe he sends money home or something. You stand up. You leave your tray. You eat at your desk. The car is still the car. Friday, a grocery store. You push a cart down the cereal aisle. A neighbor recognizes you. She is 60. She lives 3 doors down. She says, I saw your car in the driveway. I have a nephew who fixes those for free, just so you know. You say thank you. She pats your arm. She says, we all go through seasons. You stand in the aisle holding a box of oatmeal. Saturday, a family dinner. Your mother pulls you aside in the kitchen. She says, your father and I talked. We can help with a new car, just a little. You say you don't need help. She says, it's okay to need help. You hug her. You change the subject. That night you drive home in the Corolla. You pass Jordan's apartment. The Acura is in the lot. So is a new Mercedes. You don't ask whose. Jordan's phone is on the dashboard. The screen lights up. A bank notification. Jordan is inside. He doesn't see it. You drive past. You sit in your kitchen. The piece of paper is in the drawer. The number is now larger than your annual salary. You don't open the drawer. You do not know it yet. But pity hurts more than mockery. The car is still the car. You are 30. The Corolla has 136,000 miles. A new sound has started under the hood. You ignore it. Her name is Sarah. You have been dating Sarah for 8 months. Sarah is a nurse. Sarah drives a 2019 Honda Fit. Sarah has never said a word about your car. A Saturday in June, a friend's wedding, an outdoor venue, white flowers, a string quartet. You drive Sarah in the Corolla. She holds her dress in her lap so it doesn't catch on the seatbelt. You park in the back row. You walk to the venue holding her hand. The parking lot is full of Range Rovers, Teslas, a Porsche, a G-Wagon parked at an angle. Sarah looks at the lot. Sarah looks at you. Sarah says, wow, Jordan's doing really well, isn't he? You stop walking. She is not being cruel. She is making an observation. That is what makes it worse. You say, yeah, he's doing well. At the reception, Jordan arrives in a matte gray electric SUV, brand new. Sarah's face changes. She tries to hide it. You see it. Jordan walks over. Jordan hugs you. Jordan smells like cologne that costs more than your monthly grocery bill. Jordan's phone buzzes inside his jacket. Jordan does not check it. Jordan's eye twitches. Jordan says, bro, you gotta upgrade. Just once. You'll feel different. You smile. You say maybe. That night, Sarah is quiet in the car. Halfway home, she says, I just want you to enjoy your money. That's all. You drop her at her apartment. You drive home alone. The car is still the car. You sit on your couch at 1 a.m. You open your phone. A car app. You scroll. A 2024 Lexus. $43,000. Financing available. Your thumb hovers over the button. You think about Sarah's face in the parking lot. You think about Jordan's cologne. You think about Frank. You close the app. You put the phone down. You sit in the dark for 20 minutes. You open the drawer. You take out the paper. The number is $148,000. You put the paper back. The next morning, a gas station. You pump $15 of regular. A man at the next pump is filling a brand new pickup truck. He is on the phone. He says, yeah, $800 a month. I can barely breathe. He hangs up. He smiles at you. He says, nice morning. You say it is. You drive home. You sit in the kitchen. Your phone lights up. A text from Sarah. It says, I'm sorry about last night. You don't need to upgrade for me. You stare at the screen for a long time. You do not know it yet, but tonight was the night you almost broke. The car is still the car. You are 32. The Corolla has 162,000 miles. The check engine light came on 3 weeks ago. You drove it to a mechanic. He said it was a sensor. He fixed it for $90. The light is off. A Tuesday in February, 6 in the morning, 12 degrees outside. You walk to the Corolla in the dark. You turn the key. Nothing. You turn it again. A click. Silence. The battery is dead. You sit in the cold for 30 seconds. You do not panic. You have done this before. You call AAA. The driver arrives in 20 minutes. He is 25. He has a beard and a coffee in his cup holder. His name tag says Marcus. Marcus opens the hood. Marcus connects the jumper cables. Marcus looks at the Corolla. Marcus looks at you. Marcus says, "How long you had this?" You say 8 years. Marcus stops what he is doing. Marcus says, 8 years? Same car? You say yes. Marcus shakes his head. Marcus smiles. Marcus says, "My dad drove a Camry for 19 years, bought it cash, paid for my college with the money he didn't spend on cars." You stand in the cold. You say nothing. Marcus says, "Most people don't get it. They think he was cheap. He wasn't cheap. He was free." He starts the Corolla. It coughs. It catches. It runs. Marcus closes the hood. Marcus says, "Keep her going, man." He drives away. You sit in the Corolla. The heater starts to work. You do not put the car in gear for a full minute. Something moved. You do not know what it is yet, but something moved. You drive to work. The sun is rising. The car is still the car. That night you sit in your kitchen. You open the drawer. You take out the paper. You add a new number. The savings account is $241,000. You do not put the paper back this time. You leave it on the counter. That weekend, Jordan calls. Jordan asks if you can lend him $3,000, just until next month. You say yes. Jordan says, "Thanks, bro. I'll pay you back." You do not ask what for. You already know. You hang up. You sit on the couch. You realize something for the first time in 8 years. You are not behind. You were never behind. The car is still the car. You do not know it yet, but the doubt is dying. You are 34. The Corolla has 198,000 miles. It is a Friday in March. You are sitting at a stoplight when you hear it, a grinding under the hood, then a hiss, then silence. You coast into a parking lot. You call AAA. The mechanic looks at it for an hour. He comes out wiping his hands. He says, "Head gasket, $2,800 to fix. Honestly, I wouldn't." You sit on a bench outside the shop. The sun is warm. You are not sad. You take out your phone. You open your savings account. The number is $310,000. You look at it for a long time. That afternoon, Frank calls. Frank is 68 now. Frank is retired. Frank says, "Heard the Corolla finally died." You ask how he knew. Frank says, "Your father told me. He's proud of you, you know." You say nothing. Frank says, "Do you remember what I told you at that lunch 10 years ago?" You say you remember every word. Frank laughs. Frank says, "Most people don't buy cars. They buy permission. You were the first person in 20 years who actually listened." You smile. You wipe your eye. Frank says, "You didn't save money, kid. You bought yourself." He hangs up. That evening you walk to a used lot near your apartment. You see a 2021 Corolla, 46,000 miles, $11,800. You pay cash. You drive it home. Your phone buzzes. A text from Jordan. It says, "Can we talk? I'm in trouble." You read it twice. You text back. You say, "Come over." Jordan arrives at 9. Jordan sits on your couch. Jordan is 31. Jordan looks 50. Jordan says, "I owe 94,000, 3 cards, the lease, the watch." You make him coffee. You sit across from him. Jordan says, "How did you do it? Be honest." You think about Frank. You think about Marcus. You think about Sarah. You say, "I stopped buying permission." Jordan does not understand. Jordan will. One day. You drive him home in the new Corolla. The radio works. The heater works. The car does what cars do. You park in your driveway at midnight. You sit in the car for 1 minute. You think about the man at the gas station, the woman in the Range Rover, Rachel, Greg, Marcus, Sarah, your mother. They all saw a car. You saw the question. The question was never what should you drive. The question was, who are you? You finally answered it. Maybe you're the person driving the same car for 10 years. Maybe you're the one secretly worried you should be. Maybe you're Jordan. Either way, there's a question waiting in your driveway. Whether you answer it is up to you. If you want to see what happens when you stop buying permission entirely, drive safe.